Hey, what's up Axis and Allies community? This is Vic Wheezy with another video. In this video I'm going to cover examples of how to use airstrikes and can openers effectively. But first we got to define what an airstrike and what a can opener is. Airstrikes are when you attack ground units, infantry, artillery, tanks, AA guns, with only fighters and or bombers. And can openers are when you use one allied country to attack and clear a territory of any defenders to allow tanks from another allied country to blitz and attack a new territory during the same turn cycle. For example, the UK could attack the Baltic states, clearing a way for US tanks to blitz through and attack Berlin or to attack Poland. Learning how to implement strikes can openers into your game can be the difference between being an effective player and a deadly one. In this first example we're going to look at a squadron of UK aircraft which have annihilated 4 German infantry. The UK did receive above average results in this battle, while Germany received below average results by getting no hitbacks. It should be noted though, the average outcome for the battle is 1 UK fighter lost, which is 10 ICPs, and 4 German infantry vanquished, which is 12 ICPs. Based on average results, I would still take this battle, and it's still a good strategic choice, as 10 ICPs for 12 ICPs is an excellent trade and a kill Germany first strategy. Even if Germany received 2 hitbacks, the negative 8 ICPs are not the end of the world and probably are closer to a neutral result in the overall grand scheme of things. The next 2 pictures show a Japanese airstrike on Moscow in round 2. What makes the pictures unique is that it showcases how the Axis faction can work together in the European theater. The Japanese Air Force clears out Moscow losing 1 fighter and then lands in West Russia to help reinforce the German stack. These pictures also illustrate how an early Axis tank rush can be coordinated with Japanese air. In the next 2 screenshots, you'll see an effective example of a can opener. The first picture shows the combat result of 2 tanks and 2 fighters attacking Poland, and the second picture is the non-combat result of the Russian tank capturing Poland. This was all made possible by the US conducting an airstrike in Ukraine to allow the Russian tanks to blitz into Poland. It's not very often that you're able to do an airstrike in round 1, but when you can, it can be highly effective. In this screenshot, I elected to take the 50-50 battle for a few reasons. First, a Russian grab of Manchuria prevents a usual Japanese round 2 IC build there. Second, when Russia claims Manchuria, Japan will have to divert some troops to take it back, and thus weakening its threat of a J3 India timing. Third, Russia gains an income boost of 3 ICPs. Fourth, the US fighter is not in a dire need of reinforcing a central location like West Russia, so I can spare the US fighter. This move was worth it even if the US fighter was shot down in exchange for the Japanese infantry being removed from the board. Remember, net ICP exchange should not be your only criteria for taking a battle. Alright, so I've talked about how airstrikes can be involved in can openers, but now I'll show you how to do some can openers with ground support. In this screenshot, the UK has already punched a hole in the German defense by attacking the Baltic states. Notice how the US tanks are primed to take Poland by blitzing through, supported by a US fighter in West Russia. In this example, in this picture, the US has taken France, and the US has a tank and some ground in Northwest Europe. The US tank can blitz to Italy because the US has cleared a path. And with this example, I would even sack a fighter to grab Italy to reduce the number of slots that Germany can build from. In this example, the Allies have gone for a France stack, and the UK has taken Italy. Amidst the France stack is a US tank that can now blitz through and take Southwest Europe. This means Germany has to trade 1 more territory, and in a KJF, a kill Germany first, Germany wants to trade as few territories as possible. Lastly, I would like to show you how to prevent an Axis can opener on Moscow. Here my opponent is poised to take Moscow with 2 tanks, 10 fighters, but then I deter his plans by dropping in a UK bomber. It's important to keep some aircraft in range of Moscow's border for this very reason, to prevent and block anything airstrikes and tanks blitzing through. Luckily, I had 3 more bombers to spare just in case. And from this picture, you can see the importance of having UK air in range, even if it's a fighter in the Scandinavian countries, to help block. I hope from these examples you've learned something new. This is one more thing that you can add to your tool belt when playing Axis and Allies, and you'll find yourself with a massive advantage over your opponent, who neither utilizes airstrikes themselves nor accounts for airstrikes defensively. Of course, dice can always impact the game and play a huge factor, and that's why we love and hate the game. But at the end of the day, if it's rather neutral dice, then you'll have the advantage. Remember, when playing the game, just keep your cool, think everything through, resort to your tool belt, and remember, in the words of Roland Frisky Cow, dice gonna dice yo.